So hi, thank you, Dishant, and thank you for inviting me. And for the audience also, I'm very thankful to you guys. You are like giving the time, the precious time on the very busy day, the World Environment Day, which is generally in the organization and in professional life is very busy day. And so directly coming to the content for the day. Uh, so what we are going to cover today, as you know, we are going to cover the basics of the environmental uh, product declaration. So in that, basically what EPD is and its type, we will be going through, and then how is an EPD created, that we also will be seeing, and how does we make does EPD make a product green? So that is something that we also discussing, because this is a very pain point for the people who always misunderstand that EPD is always for the sustainability, and uh, we will be also discussing how EPD are used in the practice. So these are the 4 points that we will be discussing for the day. And hopefully in the next webinar or next session, we will be diving deep into more aspects of the EPD. So, so what is an EPD and its type? So have you ever seen the packaged food or the food items that we see, and particularly that nutritional level? So there you will be finding the calorie value of that food particular, and then the fat, and then sugar, then protein, and other nutrition values of the food that you are consuming. Uh, does that does that tells you that this food is healthy or not? So similarly, EPD is, so EPD also gives you different environmental impact. It gives you eutrophication, acidification, human toxicity. If we talk about climate change, so there are a lot of things. So carbon, energy use, water use, waste. There are a lot of categories that we discuss in the EPD and we declare in the EPD. So EPD, we are going in deep. So if we talk about the definition point, so EPD is nothing but a standardized document which is for the communication of the transparency. So if somebody is going for the EPD, he generally wants to declare that what environmental impact of their product is in the world. So that is something EPD offers, and nowadays it is very important, and for the business very important, and people are nowadays embracing it and taking it in their business for the longer term. Now, coming to the very points which are very uh, important aspect of the EPD. So it is standardized. It is not something that coming by the judgment of every professional or every other person. So that is something that we need to understand. It is standardized based on different standards, and it is also the verified. Right. So it is always third party verified when we talk about the EPD, particularly the third type 3 EPD. And the type 3 that I am calling is maybe could be a new term for you, and that we will be discussing in later slides. Then environmental aspect. So it always gives you what environmental impact it gives. Then not just in point of the environmental impact, but also human toxicity and biodegradability and other aspects also gives the EPD. Right. Now, types of EPD. So in ISO 14025, there is the three categories of the EPDs, the for type 1, type 2, and type 3 EPDs. So type 1 EPDs are those EPDs which have eco labels, right? Which we call eco labels, and type 2 we call self-declared environmental claims. And when we talk about the type 3, which is very particular and which is we are very particular about, and in this webinar we are going to discuss only that, and that is the environmental product declaration, which comes under the type 3 EPD. So eco labels, what these are also the third party verified labels awarded by some certification bodies, and those are also based on the predefined rules. So there must be some criteria which will be giving you the idea whether this much percentage of recycle waste or product you must be using in your product. And there will be different criteria based on the life cycle assessment, based on the uh, waste, based on the water, based on the material utilization, based on different aspect like innovation in your product. So this is the very type of the eco like type 1 EPD, which we call eco level. So if we talk about the examples of the type 1 EPDs, there are green eco level, green pro, and then green co, and EU eco level. So there are a lot of certifications that are in our surrounding and for the products. Then, if we talk about self-declared environmental claims, which is type 2 EPD. So type 2 EPD is nothing but those declaration by the manufacturers. So if somebody is saying that their product has some amount of the recycled content, suppose 50% of the recycled content, if we talk about some tissue paper, if we talk about some other material, they are saying they are using the 5% packaging material from the recycled sources. So those kind of claims, if somebody is saying that their material they are using is biodegradable, so those kind of claims which are not verified by some third party or some certification body, that comes under the self-declared environmental claims. Now coming to the environmental product declaration. So this is the main point that as we have discussed, and this is something which covers more points. In eco levels, there are certain points that you will be discussing. So if your certification body which way you are going, or the eco mark, or different certification body will ask you to assess those points. Suppose if they are saying for the LCA, so some of the eco labels ask for the LC and some don't. So that is a very different point, and that creates uncertainty in the results, and that is the problem. So you will be not able to understand the real environmental impact of the product by the eco labels, right? In case of the EPD, it is very different. It is having certain rules, the PCRs, and ISO standards as well. And then we try to make comparable products. So if some manufacturer X is producing the cement and another producing the cement, so for the type 1 EPD, the different material or different manufacturer can have different certification, and you will be not able to compare those because the processes are always different. The scope of the study will always be different. And if you are not utilizing the life cycle assessment, the very particular thing, the very start will be destroyed by yourself. So the eco label is good, but it is not as acceptable as the EPD is. So it is third party verified. It is having a comparability between the products. It is having the information on various environmental impact that eco labels cannot cover. And if we compare the type 2 with type 3, then self declared environmental claims are always having less categories included in the declaration. So there will be only one category or two category included in their declaration, but not all, because these are only the declarations based on their studies. So these are not verified. These are also not, sometimes these could not be also the scientific as well. So this is the difference between all of the three type of the EPDs: type 1, type 2, and type 3. If we talk about the type 3 EPDs examples, so EPD International is one of the example, then EPD Hub is the one of the example. EPD Norway, which is changed by the name EPD Global, is another example of the type 3. So what are the type, if we talk about the type 3 EPD, then what are the types in that particular? So EPDs are generally for the product specific and average EPDs that we are having in the market, and then multiple product EPD. And apart from that, these three, there is another EPD category for the uh, product which are in design phase. So that is also a category that we can cover in the type 3 EPD. So product specific is, as its name suggests, it is for those product which like if a manufacturer is having four products of similar kind of on the product specification, then if he is going for the particular one product, then the product specific EPD he will be choosing. When we talk about the average EPDs are those EPDs which generally based on some different number or multiple number of the manufacturers. So suppose if there is some association of the manufacturers for some particular product, then they will be coming and aligning for the EPD, and they will be trying to set a baseline. By that, the average data they will be choosing from the various industries, and the secondary data will be chosen in this. So the results will be varying, and the uncertainty will be very high in the average EPDs, while in product specific EPDs, the uncertainty will be very less, and particularly if we talk about the data will be from the primary sources only, and very less from the secondary sources. If we talk about the multiple product EPD, so as we have discussed, like if a manufacturer is producing four products which are generally similar kind of product, and does not changes any impact categories by the 10% of any category, like if there is a eutrophication and it is not changing by the 10%, more than 10%, or if it is acidification or global warming, climate change. So these are the some of the points where if it is not changing by 10%, or those criteria which are very relevant to that product, then we will be doing this multiple product EPD. So in this EPD, we will be having a different product listed in one EPD, and all the impact categories will be covered under that particular uh, EPD. So if we talk about some examples, real world examples, then suppose you are manufacturing some steel plates or pallets. So and those are only changing by the size. Then what you can do? You can go for the multiple products EPD. In that, what you will be doing, you will be taking some like four or five products that you are having, since the process is always same. The all the things like transportation and all raw material procurement is always same. So what you will be doing, taking all those product and trying to get a correlation between them, which we call in life cycle assessment is the functional unit, and we try to correlate with the impact. And suppose if it is varying by the thickness only, the pallet that we have taken as an example, if it is changing by the size, then we will be only just multiplying those sizes and will be getting the different impact. Or otherwise, there could be other examples, like if it is not just by the size, if you are taking the cement. So also you can categorize or list multiple categories in one EPD, and that is we do in the multiple product EPDs. So if we talk about the designing part, if that we missed to list here. And so if a product that is in design phase and you want to publish an APD, generally we do for the marketing purpose, and to show that our product is good, and for the branding purpose. So what we does, we take the data from the designing part, or the BIM that we use for the designing. So we take the data, we take the assumptions and the secondary data, and we try to uh, publish the APD based on that data. So that comes in the under the product which is in the design phase. So these are the four types of the EPDs, and a type of EPDs always varies, and there is no certain section or some standard which is giving the types of EPDs. So yeah, this is all from this types of EPD, and of course there are different types based on the geography. You can categorize. You can categorize some of the EPDs worst case EPD. So in worst case EPD, what we try to do, we try to take all the data, and we say that we are only taking the worst data for publishing the EPD. So that is the worst case EPD. And that too we only use when we are having a very high uncertainty in the data. That is why we say that we are taking the high this uh, worst case EPD. Now the section 2, which is how is an EPD created. So the process is very simple. Like the first phase is the data collection at the factory, and finding the goal and scope, and who will be your program operator. So operator is nothing but the person or the organization which will be publishing your EPD. So in our case, this could be the EPD International. So EPD International is nothing but program operator. So what we will be trying to do, we will be taking the first PCR, that is product category rules. Of course, in the next session, we will be also understanding what PCR is, what are the other standards which are very important for the EPD, right? And then the first thing, what we will be trying to do, we will be taking the PCR, we will be understanding what is the requirement of the publishment of the EPD under some program operator. Then based on that, what we will be trying to do, we will be trying to collect those data, and we will be taking all those stages which are included in the PCR. If there is some stages which are not being, you cannot include, then you have to give the justification for that, and the reason why you are not including them. Then what kind of data is required for the EPDs. So depending on the PCR, it varies, but the first thing which is very important is the raw material which you are procuring, and then if particularly raw materials, then what you are using, and the ancillary material, the material which are directly coming into your uh, factory, right? So then coming to the energy use, so types of energy use that you are using. So energy mix, you have to define all kind of energy that you are using. So suppose you are using the DG sets, you are using some solar powered energy, you might be using some power purchase agreement by the which gives you the energy from the hydropower or other renewable energy sources. So there could be different energy mix that you will be also giving, and that is something that data is something that you need for the EPD publishment. Then waste and emissions and the natural flows that we take. So what is the waste that your product manufacturing causing? How much waste you are sending to landfill? What is the wastewater you are creating? Then air emissions and other chemical emissions that you are causing or your product is causing. So that you also need to have. Then transport, that is very important aspect of the EPD. So during the raw material procurement, you must be using some transport, and then during the sending this to the consumer or delivering to other people, you must be using some transport, and also internally in the facility you must be using some of the transport. So that data is also required. So depending on the EPD and scope and type of the product, this data varies, and majorly we always take four types of the data: raw material, energy, waste and emissions, and natural flows, and then transport. So after collecting the data, what you try to do, you do the life cycle assessment for that particular product with in accordance with the PCR for that product category, and then you try to use the science and turn that data into environmental number with some softwares or by other means, right? And in that there is some phases. So as we have already discussed in our previous webinar, so I will be again saying that like there are some stages of the life cycle assessment, and that will be suggested by the PCR. So what are those stages? So cradle to gate is one of them, and which is very popular one also for the products. And if we talk about the construction industry, so their cradle to grave is the most popular scope that we cover in the EPDs. Apart from that, cradle to cradle is another thing. Cradle to uh, gate to cradle is also another study. So this is always changing by the scope of the study, but generally we take cradle to gate or cradle to uh, grave. So the first step that we take in the raw material procurement and then manufacturing, and these are the process basically. So we take all those processes, and if we say that we are going to take the study scope from cradle to grave. So what we will be doing, we will be only taking three stages: raw material procurement, then manufacturing, and then transport, right? And if you are taking only the cradle to gate, so raw material procurement and then manufacturing and some part of the transport you will be taking in. So this is something which will be varying based on the product and PCR, right? So yeah, if we consider all the way from raw material procurement to end of the life, this will be called as cradle to grave, right? And if we take again this end of the life to again we try to connect with the raw material, that particular product that we have sent it to landfill or to the grave, that will be cradle to cradle. So I hope that must be understood. Then coming to the third step, after first you have taken the data from the factory, and then second you did the life cycle assessment, and third you will be taking that LCA report and sending it to the independent verification, to the independent verifier. So he must be third party verifier. He should not be from your team, right? And he will be checking all your data, all your assumptions, and will be verifying that results you are publishing in your LCA report. And after checking of all those data and fulfilling all those requirements by the PCR program operator and the particular program operator, then you will be able to publish that report. So what an independent verifier will check, so he will check your LCA report if it is aligned with the PCR or not. He will be confirming your factory data is accurate or complete or not, if it is aligning with all the principles of the LCA or not, and then ensures the final EPD document presents results correctly. So if these are the results that you are giving are correctly or not, and then he signs that report and gives or send to the program operator. So from the program operator, the secretariat of that program operator will publish or sign the EPD from your side, and that particular format of the EPD will be signed and send it to the website for the publishment. So generally, if we talk about the particular program operator that we have in the world, so there are some famous one, that is EPD International, EPD Hub, which is also a famous one, and EPD Global, that was previously EPD Norway, IBU, and then BRE and NSF International. So there are majorly two type of program operator worldwide. So the first one is the global program operator, and the second is a regional program operator. So if we talk about the EPD Egypt, that is a um, local program operator, right? And if we talk about the global, then EPD International is there. EPD Hub is a global program operator. And if we talk about the BRE, BREAM program, that is for the UK. So this is the kind of picture that we have in terms of the program operator. Does an EPD make your product green? So that is a very interesting question, and if I particularly see around the different channels, I see that a lot of confusion around this. So first, if we try to answer this, if does the EPD make your product green? So for that, you need to understand again the EPD, what it is. So EPD is a transparency tool. It is not for the sustainability particularly. It does not tells you that this product is green or not, right? It does not gives any criteria for the manufacturer that you need to reduce the energy from the fossil fuel by this much percentage, or emissions by this much percentage. It does not tell you that, right? And it does not pressurize any manufacturer in that way, right? So it only, what it does work like the nutritional level that we have already discussed. By that level, you can decide that if it is uh, sustainability, having the sustainability criteria or not, if it is sustainable or not. So based on those criteria, you can decide by your own, but EPD itself does not say that, right? So what EPD is, if we talk more in depth, that it is a factual report. It is just giving the numbers and the scope and the conditions, right? It represent the verified numbers, right? Then it is a comparison tool as well. So if there are two EPDs for the cement industry, so if we take two manufacturer and both have published their EPDs, uh, whether they are from different program operator, but they will be also they are also comparable, right? Because they are having the PCR, which is always for the aligning the same kind of the rule, product category rules, which makes EPDs to be comparable in some or similar kind of the product category. So it's a comparison tool. Comparing two EPDs tells you which product has a lower carbon footprint or water footprint. Then passport for the green schemes. So there are many schemes that we see in the market. So if we talk about the lead, green star, and griha in particular case of the India, then these are some of the certification for the green buildings which always ask for the EPDs. There are certain number of the product that a builder needs to use for the green certification and the higher ranking of the project. So for that, builders or the owners of the project will always take those products which are having, or preferring those projects which are having the EPDs, right? Now coming to the credibility builder. So if your product is already verified by the third party LC verifier, and it is also verified by some program operator, then the value and the credibility and transparency increases of your product. So that is something which EPD serves you. Coming to what an EPD is not. So EPD is not in market we see the myths like this product is eco-friendly. So EPD does not say that. EPD, if you see or compare, then that is a different thing. But by publishing a EPD of your product, that does not makes your product eco-friendly, right? And EPD shows the environmental data. Being eco-friendly requires comparing that data to alternate. It is not automatic, right? Similar case of the nutrition levels that we have in the product. So myth number two, that the lower the score, the better is. So no, that is not the case always. What we are having, so sometimes a manufacturer might be using some different stages, or due to some constraint of the data or some constraint of the product, he is not able to publish that particular product impact category. And in that case, what will be happening? The comparison will be invalid. It will be void. It will be not giving you the results as your under your wish, right? So scores must be interpreted in context. The concrete block and paint tin are not comparable just because they have the EPDs. The first thing, if we talk about the both concrete block, then there is a freedom of the functional unit. So you need to also compare the functional unit. You need to compare different aspect of the manufacturing process that or the stages that are being included in the EPD or the study of the life cycle assessment. So the lower the score, the better the product. No, that is not the always case. Then an EPD is green certification, as we have already discussed. EPD do not certify anything, and they are disclosure document like a passport or not a word. So it is just that you are having something and you are saying that this much it is, right? So this is not some kind of the certification. It is just a kind of disclosure that you are having, and it is third party disclosure which is valid worldwide and accepted worldwide. That is it is that is why it is having the value. Then coming to the only sustainable company uses EPDs, or only the big companies uses the EPDs, and that is also very naive kind of statement that we see in the public. So for EPD, EPD is great for the all kind of manufacturers in the market, and somebody who wants to grow their business, who wants to enter in the big client pool. They need to have the EPDs, life cycle assessment, or different kind of the sustainable or environment disclosures. So EPD is one of them. So any manufacturer can get EPD, and regardless of their environmental performance, the EPD just report reality, right? So it is good for the manufacturer and as well as for the customers. So those in the uh, procurement part, they will be understanding the impact of the product, and the manufacturer will understand the impact of that product and will try to enhance the product in terms of the emissions and environmental impact. And if we talk about the uh, those who are in procurement in sustainability consulting part, they will be able to understand and also justify that product to be used in the product, and can plan better their product. So this is what an EPD is not, and I think you must be having some idea of the myths that we see in the market. Then EPD buses, green labels. Already we have discussed about this a bit, and just to be just to discuss this in detail. So EPD stands for Environmental Product Declarations. So report environmental data. Here there are multiple categories that we try to report, and in green level we have certifies environmental performance. So there are particular and very few categories of the environmental impact that we select. So there are maximum 10 to 11 categories, and if we talk about the green code, there are about 9 categories, 9 to 10. And if we talk about the green pro, there are again the similar kind of categories that we are having. And if we talk about the EPDs, there are about 15 to 18 categories that we cover. Now no pass or fail we consider in the EPD. So EPD does not tell anybody or any manufacturer that your product passed or fails, but green level always does that. Green levels always have some minimum criteria or threshold for their product. So if somebody is having EPD, if there is some cement product, and green level can say that if there is on 40% of the recycled material, then you can um, enroll or register for the certification. But EPD does not say that all products can get one. Yeah, so EPD can be done by anybody. Now only better performing products qualify for the green levels, right? So if you are having a very particular categories, then you must be performing better in that. So you have to take the life cycle assessment, you have to use or give the energy consumption data, and based on that data you will be decided like if you can publish your data or you can certify your product or not. And it relies on the LCA. If we talk about EPD, it totally like work on the LCA, right? And green level, if we take sometimes there is liberty that you don't conduct the LCA, and but still you can get the certification, right? Just based on the previous data that you are publishing, and that is always it is very inaccurate and having the very uncertainty in the data, and that is why the results will also be not very uh, good in that case. So EPD, if we talk about, it is internationally standardized and recognized, but green levels are not kind of that. If we talk about the Green Pro, it is only for the India, and if you are going for the Europe, the their uh, eco level will be different, and you will be assessed based on that. So might be some of the certification can use Green Pro, but mostly they will be preferring their own eco levels or green level, right? So that is also a thing in the green level. It is varies by the region and schemes that we have regionally, country to country. Then a weighing scale analogy. So an EPD is a weighing scale in a gym. It tells you exact weight. It does not tell you whether that weight is healthy. That judgment depends on your height, age, and goals. So it is a kind of same. EPDs also gives you the context, but it is always that you have to decide whether it is good or bad. So now the section 4, how EPDs are used in practice. So first thing, who uses the EPDs and why? So after the publishment of the EPDs by the manufacturers, uh, EPDs are usually used by the wide range of the stakeholders across the construction, manufacturing, and value chain, like procurement teams and other teams. So let's go one by one, which is the first, architects and designers. So whether when we design a building, we try to design its environmental impact as well, because certain green building certification also ask for the LC of that building, LCC of the building. So since these are evolving every day, so to minimize the environmental impact of some building, we try to use those products which are having the environmental impact listed under their EPDs. So that is why architects and designers always try to take those products which are having the environmental product declarations, to select the material, to design them, to measure the environmental impact of that product during the early stage of the product, right? Or the design phase of the product. Then buyers and procurement teams. So the particularly if we talk about the construction industry or otherwise the other industries like automotive and different industries like textile. So there also what will be done, there will be tender, and there will be some specification provided, and there the procurement team always searching for the EPDs which are being published by the third party verified reports, and based on those they will be first checking the environmental impact of those qualified manufacturers, and then they will be selecting the minimum one. So in that case, product teams and buyers will only choose those products which are having the minimum environmental impact, right? So then sustainability consultant also suggest to these procurement teams and architect and designer to include their the products which are very having very low environmental impact. So also sustainability consultant also uses the EPDs and suggest to the those who are using those EPDs. Now coming to the green building certifiers or certifications. So in that, this is very particular. Like for lead, you need at least 5 EPDs, which are type 3 EPD. So, and particularly if we talk about the type 1, type 2, type 3 EPDs here in this case, so if somebody is requiring 5 EPDs, type 3 EPDs for the certification requirement, then if we talk about the type 2 EPDs, the requirement will be about 4 times, that is 20 EPDs. And if we talk about the type 1 EPDs, that will require about 40 EPDs for the products. So that is a very case for the like having a more and more load, right? So in that case, third party verified type 3 EPD is best case for this case. So if somebody is having any query, any question, they can leave it in Q&A section. Of course, I will review them. Then governments and regulators. So there also the EPD is mandate. So EU CPR is also something that trying to include the EPDs and mandate it in public procurement. In India also we trying to have some laws, because if Europe is having, India will also will be having, because depending on the cases like taxation and other things. Then manufacturers and suppliers also try to or have these EPDs. So if somebody who is a big manufacturers like Hindustan Unilever or different like Nestle, so or if we talk about the Toyota in the manufacturing industry of the automotive, so what they will be asking to their OEMs. So they will be asking that please have a EPD for your product part, so that they can show their environmental impact. Because having the global average of the emissions or the impact will increase their environmental impact of their product, and which will increase the lose the chances to win because of one single point, that is the environmental impact. So yeah, that is also the way the EPDs are being used in the by the manufacturers and the suppliers. Then EPDs in the green building certification. So green building rating systems use EPD as evidence that environmental impact has been considered in the material selection. So if we talk about the lead, there is a material and resources category credit. So there building product disclosure and optimization. So there are 2 points for the EPDs only. Now, if we talk about the material, in the BREEAM. So in the BREEAM certification for the buildings, there is material category credit. There also EPTs are required. So similarly, for the GRIHA and Green Star, there is the requirement of the EPDs. In GRIHA, it is in the innovation credit. So yeah, these are the some of the examples where it is very required for the all the builders or the owners of the buildings to use these environmental product declarations or the product which are having the EPDs. Now, coming to how buyers are use EPDs in procurement exactly. So let's take a scenario to understand it. So what they will be having, they will be having different manufacturers list, and they will be trying to get who is having the EPD of the product. Then they will be requesting the data or the EPD, and then they will be comparing those indicators. So if somebody is having certain environmental impact categories and another is not having that, then that is the case where the uh, scrutiny starts, right? And you will be also checking your product or your project, where it is and how it will be impacting that category in your product. So that is something you need to check, right? So after reading those indicators, after comparing those indicators, finally they will be able to understand which one is better and which one is not better. And in particular our case, that is a scenario, we are trying to take the installation for the green a large hospital. So there, if you are not having a good installation, and if it is emitting a lot of VOCs in the environment, then it is not a good product. So for that particular case, what you are trying to do, you will be trying to reduce or get those products which are having very low VOCs, or the categories that it can harm uh, very low. So now finally, how the decisions are made in the market. So generally, what we do, we first check the cost of the product. We try to check the performance of the product, and then finally we check the environmental performance or the impact of the product. And for that, EPD we use. And sometimes, if you are cost competitive, if you are having a very good performance of your product, but EPD is not there, you will be not able to like eligible to get in that tender. So that is the case, that we can understand by the how buyers use EPDs in the procurement. EPDs is in a big picture, like if we talk about the global or growing mandate for the EPD. So last year, in the 2024-2025, the growth of the EPD was about, the published EPDs for the construction sector was about 40,000. And in the 25-26 till now, the published EPD was about 60,000. So there is growth of the 50% by just 1 year. So every manufacturer, or most of the manufacturer who wants to expand in the market, who wants to sell more, who wants to take more tenders in the market, are always going for the EPDs, or trying to publish their EPDs, because it is taking from you nothing, but it is giving you a lot of things and a lot of opportunity, not just in India but outside the India as well. Or if we talk about the world, then not just in your country but globally as well. So net zero buildings, or somebody who is planning their project to be net zero or less carbon or such things, and if he wants to if he is measuring their environmental impact of the project, then of course the EPDs plays a vital role in that as well. Then client demand is rising. So generally what happens, if there is one manufacturer that is publishing their EPD for the product. So in construction industry, in automotive industry, in medical, pharma industry, in textile, there is a lot of EPDs that is being published, in packaging industry as well. So since somebody in your industry has published, you need to have published that as well. And if we talk about the big manufacturers, they are always publishing that. And uh, as a SME, or in the medium scale of the manufacturing unit, you don't want to lose your chance just because you are not having a document, right? And that too, there is no criteria of having less or high impact of that product, so you don't need to do anything at least. But yeah, of course, a company or a manufacturing unit should do that. But for the commercial purpose, or for the purpose of the business, it is not required. Market differentiation, of course, if somebody is having EPDs, that is very transparent, it is third party verified, it is having those impacts calculated. And if you are not going for the EPDs, and you are calculating your GHGs, and you are trying to have your net zero plans, so that is also achievable by the EPD. So you will be having how much energy you are using for your product manufacturing, and how you can optimize it. What are those categories which are impacting environment highly? So that is something your EPD can help you in, right? Net zero plans will be very easy by the EPDs, and it helps you. So validity of an EPD. So generally, if we talk about type 1, type 2, type 3 EPDs, it is all generally changes. So type 3, it is 5 years if we talk about the validity. And for the type 1 EPDs, it is 2 years to 3 years. It varies, and depending on the certification body and other things of the EPDs, right? So